In my last video, I talked about bubble filters for biogas. And I think those are the most... Oh, hi, dog. Say hi, puppy. All right, so get out of here. I'm busy. I think bubble filters are the most important filters for biogas. They're very effectively removing CO2 or H2S, and they're also removing CO2 to give you a more pure product. So you should definitely have one of those. And if your biogas is going to be in any contact with metal, at least for any period of time, especially if you're compressing it, it definitely needs to be treated for H2S in some way. So, and I think that's probably the most effective is a bubble filter. But this video is about desiccant filters. So we're removing moisture now. We're mostly focused on moisture. You got the H2S out. Now we got to get the moisture out. That's the next biggest problem if you're looking for purity or if you're looking to put it in contact with metal. If you're looking to compress it into a propane cylinder or something, an LPG cylinder, it has to be dry as well as free of H2S. So the purpose of this channel is still to document the journey of trying to make a vehicle run on biogas. I still plan on doing that. But these how-to videos, I don't think they exist. At least I can't find them, so I figure I'm going to make them. I'm going to learn as much as I can. I'm going to put out some how-to videos while I got some downtime, no progress on the journey. But the purpose of the channel is still the same. So if you know people who are really good at oil and gas, engineers, smart people, people who know engines, please send them my way. I have questions. Maybe they can help me. So here we go. Desiccant filters. All filters are going to be more effective at higher pressure and lower temperature. I forgot to mention that on the bubble filter video. Higher pressure, lower temperature makes things more soluble. So if your filters are in the sun, they're going to be more effective if you move them to the shade. There's probably things you can do to lower the temperature further than that. Ice bath is like too much work, but I'm not sure what else you could do. I'm mostly just saying this. If this gives you an idea, higher temperature, lower temp makes filters more effective. If that gives you an idea, let me know what that idea is. So higher pressure, all I can think of is putting a back pressure valve downstream of your filters. That would help your filters be more effective. But it would also reduce your production because the bacteria won't produce as much under pressure as it will without pressure. You want as little pressure on that as possible. So I may add a back pressure valve if I have to meet my goals, but I'm thinking if you're going to do that, you might want to put a pump between your biodigester and your filters. A little pump of some kind. I don't know. That's way down the road. I may never even get there. I may not have to. So higher pressure, lower temp. If that gives you an idea that I haven't mentioned yet, I'd be interested in hearing it. Let's see. I took some notes a few days ago. I don't remember what all I wrote down, but I'm going to read through it. No, I already said all of that. Okay, so back on track. Low pressure, higher temp. So the opposite of that could regenerate your desiccant material, depending on what you use. I've got 4 ideas. I've got 4 things that are used in oil and gas to remove moisture from natural gas. that we can probably use for biogas. And one of them is not kitty litter. Okay. Okay, so some of them, if you increase the temperature, if you put them in an oven, you can actually bake the moisture out of them and keep using them over and over and over again. I don't recommend, if you are going to regenerate your desiccant material, I don't recommend using the oven that you use for food that you eat. You're probably going to want to have a dedicated desiccant regeneration oven. I'm thinking about buying like a little pizza oven or something to keep them in my garage just for baking desiccant. Okay. All right, that's all the notes that I have on desiccant material in general. I'll get into the four materials that we could use, and I'm going to start with what I think is the least effective, and that's silica beads. They're real cheap. They're blue beads. They are reusable. You can definitely bake these and reuse them. They turn, one of my favorite things about them is they turn from blue to pink as they absorb moisture. So you can tell if they're used up or how much life is left in them just by looking at them. So those are pretty cool. But much more effective, I believe, is called a molecular sieve. I have some of that too. I got this on Amazon. It's real cheap. Got a whole, I think I got 2 pounds. 2 pounds of it here, and it's beads too, but they're brown. And it's called molecular sieve. So, cool thing about molecular sieve, or in oil and gas, I know they call it a mole sieve. They are also reusable. You can bake the crap out of them and use them over and over and over again. They also catch, what they have above silica beads is they also catch CO2 and H2S. So that's pretty cool. And the downfall with them, though, is that they don't change colors. So with my setup right now, I'll show it to you here at the end of the video, but it uses this to try to help with CO2 and any H2S that might have made it through my water bubbler. And then I also have a little tiny one of these, a little tiny filter of this just after that. So as an indicator, it's a tattletale. If my blue beads start turning pink, I know that my mole sieve is used up and I have to bake it. The next most effective, I think, the next two, I'm not really sure. I don't really have any experience with either of them, but I know that calcium chloride is one of the most hygroscopic materials that we know of. So it wants to absorb water. It will absorb, it's solid, it's a salt, and it's solid. I think it comes in little flakes, and as it absorbs water, it melts into a brine. So this is not reusable. But the cool thing about it is, hypothetically, you could come up with a filter design where you can drain the brine out of the bottom of it and then top it off on the top with solid chunks of calcium chloride, and it'll just melt away as it absorbs water. So, and that, I think, is highly effective. I know, well, I've heard that it works really well. I don't know where to get it. I did look on Amazon. You can buy it, but it comes in like a powder form as like a dehumidifier. So I'm not sure how effective powdered calcium chloride would be in a filter for biogas. I'm not even sure what that would look like. So if you have any experience with that, or if you know where to get it, or if it's a stupid idea and I should stop talking about it, I'd like to hear about all of that too. Last one, I know it's the most common desiccant, in oil and gas, and it's actually a liquid desiccant. It's called glycol. I also, same thing, I don't know if it's reusable. I don't know if you can regenerate it. I think you can. I'm sure somebody can let me know. And then I also don't know where to get it. I did look on Amazon. I did not see glycol on there. I don't know if that's available to us. I don't know if we can buy that on a consumer level. If you know where to get glycol, I know that that is the most commonly used desiccant in oil and gas. And if I can build some kind of glycol desiccant filter, I definitely would. So if you know where to get glycol, please share. All right, last thing, I'll show you my current setup, which I think is working pretty well. Again, I'm not making very much gas right now because it's pretty cold in here. But this is what I got. Downstream of my bubbler, I have this filter body full of Molsiv. And then just downstream of that, I have a little inline filter full of silica beads. And I think that's working pretty well. So that is pretty much the extent of my knowledge that I've been able to accrue on desiccant filters. So if I missed an option that's not kitty litter, I don't want to talk about kitty litter. If I missed an option, or if I got something wrong or whatever, be happy to get some feedback on that. I'd be thrilled to learn more. Maybe there's something I'm doing that I shouldn't be doing. Maybe there's something that I'm not doing that I could be doing. Let me know.